In this video, I'm going to talk about controlling parents, how I grew up with controlling parents, what effect it had on me. Now that I'm older, what did I realize and what I learned from them. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Andrew. You can call me Uncle Druzy. I grew up in an abusive home. My parents fought almost every day. I grew up a loner. Didn't have very many friends. And if you could relate to me, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming out with new videos every week on my childhood, my teenage years, what I've gone through, what I learned from it, and hopefully you could relate and help answer some of your questions. When I was a kid, when I was in middle school, all the way through high school, my parents were very controlling. What did they control me on? What I eat, what I drink, the clothes I wear. My mom basically chose all my clothes for me. I never really went to a store and shopped for my clothes. She just buys clothes for me, and I didn't have any issues with that. I didn't really care what I wore. They controlled how I arranged my room, where I put my bed, where I put my desk. They controlled what kind of TV, what kind of movies I watch. They control what kind of music I listen to. I love watching wrestling, WWE. I love, UFC. I love Power Rangers. I love Ninja Turtle. I love to play Resident Evil, Silent Hill games. But those didn't last very long because soon my mom, she would just make comments about it and forbid me to play those things, watch wrestling, anything to do with, fighting and violence. I mean, even Power Rangers, if you could even call it violent, okay? She wouldn't even let me watch that, or I would try to sneak watch it, and she would catch me, and she would just get on me. They also control what kind of books I should be reading. I used to love reading thrillers, scary books like R.L. Stine, Goosebumps, Fear Street. I used to love comic books, Spawn, Wolverine, X-Men. And one day, my mom just came in, ripped up all my comic books, just came in, it's like, why are you reading all this garbage? Why don't you read something more useful, make yourself smarter instead of putting all this crap in your brain. So what effects do these things have on me that I did not realize until I'm older? It takes away my confidence, it takes away my self-esteem, my identity. I feel that I would constantly need their approval. I would be very indecisive because my whole life growing up, I had them to tell me what to do. And if I make a decision and they don't approve of it, I feel inadequate. I feel like I failed somehow. And I feel that in my next decision that I make, whether it's a big decision or just a minor decision, I would feel like I would need to consider what they think before I actually execute on those decisions. So that really affected my confidence, and it made me into actually a very indecisive person. I would think a lot before even going out to eat somewhere, and them always commenting on how I look, what I should be eating to improve how I look. That affects my self-esteem. If you are going through the same thing I'm going through, it's not gonna end when you move out of the house. It's gonna carry on. And when you move out of the house, they're gonna judge you. They're gonna tell you how to rearrange your house, continue to tell you what you should eat, how you should live your life, your sleeping patterns, even to the point of how to raise your kids. They would just try to control everything. So the lesson that I've learned from these things is, in order for you to be the best version of yourself, you need to separate yourself from their control. For you to hit your highest potential, you need to be able to think and act freely and be able to make mistakes and learn from them. I know it's hard when you're young, you're living under their roof, you have to listen to what they're saying just because you're reading, in my case, a scary thriller novel doesn't mean you don't learn anything from it. It could be like a gateway to other things that would interest you to read. But for them to kind of force you to read or watch something else, it would altogether destroy that interest that you have. I love hip hop. I love listening to Tupac, to Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. I love that stuff. My parents would never let me listen to it. I love it because I was always an angry kid when I was growing up. I could really relate to their music, and it helps me release this anger that I had. And my parents, they would, mostly my mom, they would just, whenever they catch me listening to hip hop, they would say, "Oh, why don't you listen to classical? It's better for you. Study shows if you listen to classical music, you'll be smarter. You'll have a higher IQ. You do you. Listen to music that connects to you, that you feel, that you enjoy. Don't be suppressed by your parents." If I could go back and my parents are trying to control me to do this, to watch this, to listen to this, I would tell them I need to be able to experience different things in life. Just because I watch some people fight on TV, just because I read some thrillers, some scary novels, just because I listen to this type of music, doesn't mean I'm gonna fight with people, get in trouble, go to jail. Those things that interest me are just curiosity, and it helps me figure out who I am as I grow, and gives me an identity and something that I could share interest with my peers, with my friends. And that's the main reason why parents want to control you, because they're scared that as soon as you expose a Power Ranger, you're gonna go out there and start fights. As soon as you watch wrestling, you're gonna wanna give everybody a drop kick. As soon as you listen to hip hop, back then it was gangster hip hop, I'm gonna turn to be a gangster. I'm gonna, F the police. Because my parents fought almost every day, because I was abused growing up, watching those things helped me relieve the tension, the anger that I had inside. It was therapeutic for me to watch those things. Because if I hadn't watched those, I would have found other ways to deal with those issues. It could have been even worse, like doing drugs or whatever, right? And I believe if I told that to my parents, let them know that everything is okay, even though you're consuming these things, that you're responsible. If you're curious about something, go for it. As long as you're not doing any drugs, breaking the law, everything's fair game. Because you need to understand yourself, understand why you enjoy these things. A horror book, a thriller, is not thriller or horror. It's the interest in reading. The most important thing about watching violent, fighting TV and movies is not the violence, it's the art, how it can maybe influence you start a filmmaking career. The importance of listening to hip hop, EDM, heavy metal, whatever, the music that's usually shunned upon is not the lyrics, what they say, how it sounds. It's how the music makes you feel, how it becomes a therapy for you. It's not about the surface. It's about something much deeper. And if you could explain that to your parents, I'm pretty sure majority of them, if they're good parents, they're not too controlling, they would try to understand, or at least you guys could meet somewhere in the middle and you both would improve your relationship. So that's all I have for today. It's a long video. If you watched it till this far, thank you for watching. Please let me know if you actually talked to your parents about it, whether it helped you or not. If you like my stories, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and I'll be coming out with more stories on my childhood and how I could help you guys.